Hey, true crime enthusiast, buckle up, because today we're diving into the dark, twisted life of Karla Homolka and Paul Bernardo with a picture of young love. Attractive and seemingly normal, they were dubbed the Ken and Barbie killers. But behind their facade, a horrifying truth festered. This seemingly ordinary couple harbored a dark secret, a shared lust for violence and control. Their crimes would shock Canada to its core. Between 1991 and 1993, the couple's crimes escalated from sexual assault to murder. What began as a series of disturbing assaults soon spiraled into a spree of brutal killings that left a community in shock and fear. The escalation was swift and terrifying, with each crime more heinous than the last. Their hunting ground was the southern Ontario, a region known for its peaceful neighborhoods and close-knit communities. The couple exploited this sense of security, preying on unsuspecting victims who never imagined such evil lurked in their midst. The serene landscapes and bustling cityscapes of southern Ontario became the backdrop for their horrific acts. Their victims, young women who had the misfortune of crossing their path. These women, full of life and dreams, were targeted for their vulnerability. The couple's methodical approach to selecting and luring their victims was as chilling as it was effective. Missing persons posters began to dot the area, each one a stark reminder of the growing danger. These women became objects in the couple's twisted games. They were not seen as individuals with families and futures, but as mere pawns in a sick and deadly game. The investigation files grew thicker with each passing day, filled with details of unimaginable cruelty and suffering. Even more horrifying, the couple often recorded their acts, documenting their depravity. These recordings served as trophies, a way to relive their heinous crimes. The footage, later discovered by investigators, provided a grim window into the depths of their perversion and the extent of their brutality. One victim stood out, Tammy Homolka. Her tragic story became a focal point in the case, highlighting the sheer depravity of the couple's actions. Tammy was not just another victim. Her death revealed the horrifying lengths to which the couple would go. Tammy was Karla's own younger sister. The betrayal was unimaginable, a sister turning against her own flesh and blood. Family photos that once depicted happy moments now served as haunting reminders of the tragedy that had unfolded. Karla, claiming to be under Bernardo's control, offered Tammy as a gift to him. This act of betrayal was a desperate attempt to appease her partner, showcasing the toxic and manipulative nature of their relationship. The courtroom sketches and news footage captured the public's outrage and disbelief. She participated in drugging and assaulting her own flesh and blood. The details of Tammy's death were gruesome, and the evidence left no doubt about the couple's culpability. The crime scene photos and police evidence painted a grim picture of the events that transpired. This chilling detail, coupled with their calculated cruelty, cemented their place in Canada's darkest history. The case of Karla Homolka and Paul Bernardo remains one of the most disturbing chapters in Canadian criminal history, a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity. The archival footage and news headlines continue to evoke a sense of horror and disbelief, ensuring that their reign of terror will never be forgotten. In a shocking twist, Karla Homolka struck a deal. She agreed to testify against Bernardo. In exchange, she received a reduced sentence. Her defense? She was a victim, manipulated and abused by Bernardo. Many doubted her story. They saw her as a willing participant, not a helpless pawn. The public was outraged. 12 years for her role in such horrific acts. It seemed like a betrayal of justice. The deal sparked accusations that Homolka had gamed the system. The controversy highlighted the complexities of the law. It left many wondering, was justice truly served? Upon release in 2005, Karla Homolka sought anonymity. She disappeared from the public eye. She adopted a new identity, hoping to outrun her past. She moved from place to place, desperate for a normal life. But her notoriety followed her. Reports of sightings surfaced. Each attempt to integrate into a new community was met with fear and anger. She was a constant reminder of the horrific crimes. The public had not forgotten, nor had they forgiven. For Karla Homolka, there would be no escaping the shadow of her past. For their families of the victims, the pain was unending. Each day was a reminder of the loss they had suffered, a wound that time could not heal. Their daughters, sisters, and friends were gone, taken by senseless violence. The memories of their laughter, their dreams, and their futures were now just echoes in the hearts of those left behind. The families were left with a void that could never be filled. The empty bedrooms, the untouched belongings, and the silent homes were constant reminders of the lives that were abruptly ended. They grappled with the horrific nature of the crimes, seeking solace that would never come. The courtrooms, the memorials, and the crime scenes became places of both sorrow and remembrance. Some families channeled their grief into advocacy. They stood before cameras, attended events, and held signs demanding justice, turning their personal tragedies into a public fight for change. They became voices for the voiceless, working tirelessly to honor their loved ones' memories. Through rallies, interviews, and community events, they shared their stories, hoping to prevent others from experiencing the same heartache. They sought to ensure that other families wouldn't endure the same pain. By meeting with lawmakers, joining support groups, and attending memorial services, they found strength in unity and purpose in their grief. Their courage and determination were a testament to the enduring power of love and the pursuit of justice. In their darkest moments, they found light in each other and in their shared mission to make the world a safer place for all. The case of the Ken and Barbie killers became a media sensation. Every detail, every twist was splashed across newspapers and television screens. The public was captivated. The couple's seemingly normal facade, juxtaposed with their heinous acts, fueled fascination and repulsion. The media frenzy raised questions. Were they exploiting the tragedy? Was the coverage influencing the trial? The case highlighted the fine line between informing the public and sensationalizing tragedy. It sparked a debate about the media's role in high-profile criminal cases. Paul Bernardo faced a different fate. He was convicted on multiple counts. Murder, kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, the charges piled up. He was labeled a dangerous offender. His sentence? Life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. Bernardo maintained his innocence. He blamed Homolka, painting himself as a victim of her manipulation, but his claims rang hollow. The evidence against him was overwhelming. His lack of remorse only solidified his image as a remorseless predator. The crimes of Homolka and Bernardo left an enduring scar on Canada. They shattered the nation's sense of security. Their case became a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. It forced Canadians to confront the reality that monsters can hide in plain sight. The case also sparked a national dialogue. Violence against women, the justice system, the role of the media, these issues were debated and dissected. The horrific nature of the crimes served as a wake-up call. It underscored the need for greater awareness, prevention, and support for victims. The case led to tangible changes. Law enforcement agencies revamped their protocols. DNA technology was advanced. Victim support services were improved. The lessons learned from the horrors of the Ken and Barbie killers case had a lasting impact on Canadian law enforcement. The tragedy also highlighted the importance of interagency collaboration. Police, prosecutors, and victim advocates realized the need for a unified approach. The goal was to prevent such atrocities from happening again. The case had exposed weaknesses in the system, weaknesses that needed immediate attention. In the aftermath of such horror, it's easy to get lost in the details. The shock and disbelief can be overwhelming, and the media often focuses on the sensational aspects of the crime. The gruesome details, the courtroom drama, and the twisted motives of the perpetrators can dominate the narrative, overshadowing the real human tragedy at the heart of the story. To focus on the killers and their twisted motives, the media frenzy can make it seem like the criminals are the central figures. But we must remember that the true heart of this story lies elsewhere. But the true legacy of the Ken and Barbie killers case lies with the victims. These were real people with hopes, dreams, and families who loved them. Their lives were cut short in the most tragic and senseless way. And it is their memory that should be at the forefront of our minds. They must never be forgotten. Each name on the memorial wall represents a life that was taken too soon, a family that was shattered, and a community that was left to pick up the pieces. The candles we light in their memory are a small but powerful gesture, a way to keep their light shining even in the darkest of times. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of violence. The pain and suffering of their families and friends are a testament to the far-reaching impact of such heinous acts. These are not just statistics or names in a news report. They are individuals whose lives were stolen, leaving a void that can never be filled. They are a call to action for all of us to be vigilant, to stand up against violence and injustice in all its forms. We must work together as a community to create a safer world, where such tragedies are less likely to occur. This means being proactive, supporting victims, and advocating for stronger protections and resources, to speak out against injustice, to ensure that the voices of the victims and their families are heard. We must demand accountability and push for changes that can prevent future tragedies. This is not just the responsibility of law enforcement or the legal system. It is a collective effort that requires the involvement of every member of society, and to work towards a safer world. This involves not only addressing the immediate threats, but also tackling the root causes of violence. Education, community support, and mental health resources are crucial in building a foundation for a more peaceful society. The fight for justice continues, fueled by the memory of those lost. Every step we take towards justice is a tribute to their lives and a commitment to ensuring that their deaths were not in vain. The legal battles, the advocacy, and the public awareness campaigns are all part of a larger movement to honor their memory and seek justice on their behalf. And the enduring strength of those left behind. The resilience of the victims' families and the support of the community are a powerful testament to the human spirit. Together, we can create a legacy of hope and change, ensuring that the victims are remembered not just for how they died, but for how they lived and the impact they had on the world. If you're as fascinated by these dark tales as I am, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more true crime stories. If you believe this is a fact or fiction, comment below. Next time, stay safe and stay curious.